Thank you, Mr. Chair. I'm going to show some videos of what the Trump administration has done in some of these cities across the country. If we could hit play on that. Thank you.
Get out of the fucking car. Get out of the car. Oh! Fucking bitch.
Oh shit! What the fuck? They killed him? Did they fucking kill that guy? Are you fucking kidding me, dude?
Right at the corner of Jefferson.
Get out of the car.
No, I will not get out of the car. You
Get out
can't.
of the car.
Get your hands off of me. Get your hands off me.
Oh,
We just saw that. ICE Code of Conduct says, quote, all ICE employees must be paid professionally and must be a model for all to follow. Director Lyons, just know, is the behavior you just witnessed a model you think agents should follow?
Sorry about that, sir. Sir, I can't speak to each one individually.
You can't just...
Each ICE officers are held to a higher standard and higher conduct, but in every case, like I already stated before, between, Tennessee versus Gardner, Graham versus O'Connor,
It's also just an issue of common sense. Like, right, even the last one where that woman is being pepper sprayed, there's enough standoff distance that she's clearly not a threat, and he directly puts a non-lethal into her face. Speaking of non-lethals, are all ICE agents, even the ones that are new ICE agents, trained in the use of non-lethals? Pepper spray, mace, tasers.
Yes, sir.
They employ it on themselves, too, so they understand the impact of it.
Yes, sir. I've been sprayed many times. It's horrible.
Yeah, same here. Okay. Right now, what is the training cycle for new ICE agents? How many days?
So we reduced the actual calendar days from 75 to 42. We went from 5 days a week to 6 days a week. 5 days a week was 5 8-hour days, and we've gone to 6 12-hour days.
And that is given enough sufficient experience for them to be dealing in these very dynamic areas and urban areas with including weapons handling, because I've seen some of your ICE agents and their weapons handlers. It's quite horrible. Do you think that in those time period you could actually insert people into an environment as dynamic as Minnesota and other places, and they're actually using weapons in the correct way?
So, sir, what we've done on the backside of that is we've instituted our OJT program, which, as you in law enforcement are familiar with, much like an FTO program, where after the academy they get the railroad training like you would once a local police officer comes out of the academy.
So the OTG is happening in places like Minnesota. So somebody who probably has never handled a weapon after 42 days is going to be inserted into Minnesota into a high-stress environment.
They could, sir. Yes, sir.
Explains a lot. In one of the videos you saw earlier, there was a gentleman, ICE agent, or I believe it's CBP agent, that is hitting Mr. Petrie in the face with a tear gas canister. Without actually talking about that specific event, where in any training manual have you been taught, or I was never taught, that I should use something like that as a weapon against a civilian or against anyone I'm trying to detain?
I haven't.
You haven't?
No, sir.
Mr. Scott, have you ever been trained to use maybe a pistol to pistol whip somebody while you're trying to detain them, or a canister of that nature? Not specifically to this thing, but in general, any of your training?
Absolutely not, although there's an exception that in certain circumstances, meaning your life's at risk, you don't have anything else, you can use whatever you have available.
Sure, weapons of opportunity. I'm training that shit too. Pardon me, in that stuff too. Back it up now. So why don't you do that from your training? Why are you not supposed to use a pistol to pistol whip somebody, or a canister of tear gas when you're trying to restrain somebody? Do you remember your training, why they told you to do that? You go first, Mr. Lyons.
No, sir. Why don't we do that, sir?
Yes, why don't you do that?
So you're obviously not going to pistol whip an individual for fear the weapon's going to go off? Exactly.
And so what we've seen consistently is a lot of CBP agents, and in this case, customs agents, that are clearly either violating or putting other people in danger or themselves in danger. And the fact that they're doing that tells me there is a command structure and element that allows that to happen, because we consistently see it all the time on video. And, I have been in those high-stress environments, and if I had seen this consistently done by Marines, I think the Marine Corps would have stopped altogether and said, we need to have a brand new training structure, and or we have to hold people accountable. The fact that this is happening all the time means that you've created a space, a command structure that has allowed this, because these men feel that there's going to be no accountability. Now, rolling forward, after Renee Good was shot, the agent called her I quote, a fucking bitch on camera. Yes or no, is this how your agents are trained to act? And I'll go to Chairman Scott, Mr. Scott.
No, sir.
Is that professional in that
sir.
regard? I asked this earlier. You know, your weapons, your agents, Director Lyons, are trained in weapons handling, correct?
Yes, sir.
If you look at the Renee Good shooting, why is the agent holding a camera phone and a weapon at the same time?
So, sir, I don't want to comment on the ongoing investigation just because that's still being determined at this time. But could I just go back to one thing, sir, that you mentioned
No.
earlier?
I want to ask further question on this. Has there ever been an order to any agents, CBP agents in Minnesota or other place, for them to be recording on their personal phones to essentially be somewhat social influencers or to pass, the media on to up? Has there ever been any orders given for people to be holding or for agents to be recording while they're, doing these stops or engaging with the public?
Sir, there's never been an order to do that. Agents have used it as far as if they were going to make an arrest, say, on an agitator. The U.S. Attorney was requiring to have video leading up to the event, so officers have used that for that.
For video from a handheld, from a phone?
If they had a body camera available, from the body camera or from any type of recording device.
But the reason there's a difference is because the body cam is designed for a police officer or law enforcement to engage while still being able to have full scope of knowledge of what's happening, be able to detain, be able to escalate if they need to escalate. What I saw and what the world saw for me is the fact that there was an agent that was moving around a vehicle with a camera phone recording and his hand on the weapon. In what world, in what training between all of your training in weapons handling, have you ever been taught what the appropriate use of you holding a weapon and at the same time recording on a camera phone? Did you have any of that type of training at all in your time in ICE, law enforcement, or through CBP?
No, sir, I haven't. But again, we look at every instance, no matter what it is. So
shouldn't there be some kind of command or directive that comes down from CBP headquarters, knowing that this is unprofessional conduct that probably created and put the officer and probably the civilian in a situation that ended up escalating to a shooting, that maybe you shouldn't be holding a camera, trying to be influencer, and wielding a weapon at the same time? That is a professional code of conduct. As law enforcement, as military, you would never do that because you cannot handle a weapon, assess a situation, and be able to determine to escalate or de-escalate. Did you issue any type of direction after Ms. Good was shot saying that this is not what you should be doing, or we're just accepting that this is going to continue going forward?
no, sir, there was nothing issued because we do hold our individuals accountable. That's my point I wanted to make earlier is that, from January 25 to January 26, ICE has had 37 open investigations for excessive use of force. So we do hold individuals accountable. Out of those, 18 of those were closed, 19 are still pending, and one has been referred for further action.
And so to back up, it's not even necessarily just like that. I'm glad you're doing investigations, to be clear. But the fact that there are consistent mishandling of weapons, use of escalation of force that is above what is necessary, and there still hasn't been any command decision and directive about how to actually, fix this is concerning, because any other agency, any other law enforcement, any other military agency would have said, do not do this. If, for example, do not be recording with your phone while actually handling a weapon and moving in front of a moving vehicle. That's it. I yield back. Thank you.
What you just watched wasn't just a tense exchange in a congressional hearing. It was a window into a much bigger issue, the gap between policy on paper and behavior in practice. When Representative Gallego pressed ICE leadership, he wasn't just nitpicking tactics. He was raising a foundational question about professionalism, command responsibility, and use of force culture inside federal law enforcement. And the most striking moment wasn't even the shouting or the profanity caught on video. It was something deceptively simple. Why is an agent holding a camera phone and a firearm at the same time? That question matters more than it seems.